So our topic for today is matrix organization means what these matrix organization are. So we can say that under the matrix organization, there are it is a type of organizational structure, where employees report to multiple managers rather than a single supervisor. Means there is not only a single supervisor to whom they all will be reporting. There is a group, or we can say there are more than one supervisors to whom the employees would be reporting. This structure blends aspects of both functional as well as project based, or we can say product based organization, aiming to leverage the strengths of both. So now we can study the characteristics of matrix organization. So the first characteristic is dual reporting relationship. It means that we can say in a matrix organization, employees typically have two managers. Means they'll have more than one manager. They'll have two managers, right? So first would be the functional manager, or the second would be product or project manager. So the functional manager will be the one who will oversee the work as well as the professional development within a specific department, uh, be it a marketing department, engineering department, or be it a finance department. Means the manager will ensure that employees have the necessary technical skills as well as they are working according to the departmental standards, like whether they are able to meet the standards or not. Second would be the project or the product manager. Now, who would be responsible for the completion of specific projects or even the development of products, right? So the managers would coordinate the efforts, like okay, so across various departments to meet the project deadlines as well as the project objectives. Now, here employees must balance the demand as well as the expectations of both managers, because which can sometimes, it can sometimes be challenging, but often it will lead to a more comprehensive outcome. Now, the second characteristic is flexibility and collaboration, which means the matrix structure, it fosters the flexibility as well as the collaborations, by breaking down the traditional silos between the departments, right? So employees from different functional areas will work together on projects which will lead to more diverse perspectives and even to the more innovative solutions, because diverse people will have diverse solutions. They will be having different set of minds, or we can say the different criteria, different creative ideas would be gained together because of the diverse people. So this cross functional collaboration can enhance the problem solving and creativity as team members bring their unique expertise to the table. Now, the third characteristic is resource efficiency, which means that in a matrix organization, resources and personnel can be shared across different projects, right? So, this means that skills and the expertise are utilized more efficiently, or which avoids the duplication of efforts. Now, let us understand this with an example. For example, if a skilled engineer, he might contribute to multiple projects, right? So which will optimize his time as well as his talent. Now this shared resource can approach can, it will ensure that the organization can respond dynamically to the changing projects as well as the changing needs and priorities of the organization. Now, the fourth characteristic is the dual reporting line in the managing organization can even make the decisions more complex, right? Which will coordinate and which will communicate between the functional as well as the project manager. And these are very crucial to avoid the conflicts and to ensure that the enlightenment of the goals and priorities are being considered. So while this can lead to more thorough decision making process, it will also slow down the decision making if it is not managed effectively. So clear communication should be there. Clear communication channels and well defined job roles and responsibilities are very essential to navigate the complexity successfully or to achieve the organizational goals. The next characteristic is balance of power, which means that in a matrix organization, the balance of power between the functional as well as the project manager is very crucial. It is very necessary because the structure requires clear setting up of responsibilities and authority, so as to ensure that both managers can effectively lead without even conflicts or without haphazard between them, right? So this will create a balance which will help to prevent the conflicts, as well as it will also help us to promote a harmonious working conditions in the organization. We'll come to the next characteristic, which is development of multi-skilled employees, which means that employees in matrix organization, they often develop a broader range of skills due to their involvement in various projects, right? So you can say that they will gain experience in different functional areas by working on different projects, right? And project management, they'll get to know about the project management. They learn the project management, which will enhance their enhance their versatility and their employability, right? And this multi skill will lead them to the better adaptability of the changes in the environment and enhance the better productivity in the organization. Now, the next characteristic is improved problem solving and innovation, which means that the cross-functional nature of matrix team, it brings together the diverse perspective and the expertise, which fosters the innovation and even the problem solving in the organization. Team members together from different backgrounds, they all can collaborate and they all can develop the unique solutions that might not emerge in otherwise, means that might not emerge if one manager is there. Now, the next characteristic is shared accountability, which means that employees in the matrix organization, they're often accountable to multiple supervisors, right? So which will lead to a shared sense of responsibility. This shared accountability, this will mean that both the functional and the project managers are invested in the success of the employees as well as the project. It will help in creating a more supportive environment where both employees feel encouraged to meet the expectations of both the supervisors, of project manager as well as the product manager, functional manager and the product manager. Now last comes the dynamic work environment, which means the matrix structure, it creates a dynamic and adaptable work environment. Here the employees, they may work on different projects with varying teams, means with different teams, which will keep the work engaged and it will reduce the monotony. Now this dynamism, this will help to achieve the higher job satisfaction and retention rate, as the employees experiences a variety of roles and challenges while working in the organization. So the next topic is advantages of matrix organization. First is enhanced communication and collaboration, which means that under the matrix organization, it promotes the formation of both cross-functional teams where members from different departments, they will collaborate on projects and will be able to learn different skills, right? So this will also help to set up the it will encourage the sharing of diverse perspectives and the expertise, which will lead to more innovative and the well-rounded solutions. Now, regular meetings will be there. Regular meetings and interaction between the functional and the project team ensures that the information flows smoothly across the organization, which will enhance the communication and it will reduce the risk of misunderstandings and will also ensure that the all the team members, they are aligned with the project goals, means they all are working in a synchronization towards the attainment of the organizational goals. The second advantage is flexible resource allocation, which means that in a matrix organization, resources such as personnel, equipment, and even the budget, these all can be allocated dynamically based on the project needs. Now, this flexibility, this will allow the organization to respond quickly to the changes in the project requirement or even in the market conditions. It will ensure that the resources are utilized more efficiently, as they can be shared across multiple projects. Same resources would be shared among the different projects. For example, if a highly skilled engineer, if he can contribute to several projects at a single time, now this will ensure that his expertise is fully utilized, which will always help him, which will always helps to increase his skills, as well as it will help the organization for the organizational to achieve the organizational goals. Now, the third advantage is enhanced employee development, which means that employees will often work on diverse projects, right? And it will expose them to various functions and challenges. This exposure will help them to develop a broader skill set, and it will also help them to gain valuable experiences in different areas of the organization. Working with multiple managers and teams will provide the employees with more networking and even the more opportunities and a better understanding of the organizational objectives or the organizational operations, right? So this experience, it will always lead towards the more significant career growth and even the more developmental opportunities for the employees. Now the next advantage is improved decision making, which means that this structure will bring together the employees with different backgrounds and the expertise, and it will lead to more comprehensive and informed decision making. Diverse input will help in the identification of potential risk as well as the opportunities that might occur, or these opportunities and risks, they will be overlooked, right? And how these can be overcome. With inputs from both functional and the project managers, the decisions will be more balanced. The decisions will be both technical expertise as well as the project specific, right? So the balance between the two, it will always ensure that decisions are well rounded and are considered upon various aspects of the organization. Now, the next advantage is enhanced flexibility and responsiveness, which means that these organizations are better equipped to adapt to the changes in the market or the even to the into the project requirements. If any changes occurs in the environment or the product, so these are easily able to adapt those changes. The ability to quickly relocate resources and to adjust the project teams, it will always allow the organization to remain responsive, right? So the collaborative environment will always foster an innovative and creative uh, atmosphere in the organization. Employees will be encouraged to think outside the box and will develop new solutions. They will be able to lead to uh, more innovative organization. The next advantage is efficient conflict resolution, which means that conflicts will always occur. There could always be a possibility that conflicts would occur in the organization. Now, these conflicts are often resolved under the matrix organization. They are often resolved with more effectively in a matrix organization because multiple managers are involved, right? So different perspectives will help to identify the root cause of the conflict and will always help to develop more effective solutions. The open communication channels would be there. The structure will promote open communication, which is crucial for resolving the conflicts quickly and efficiently. Employees will always feel more comfortable. They will feel comfortable to voice their concerns, to voice their opinions, which will lead to more harmonious work environment. Now, the last advantage is enhance focus on organizational goals, which means that by involving both functional and project managers in decision making, matrix organizations can always ensure that the projects are aligned with the organizational strategic objectives, right? The alignment will always help. It will always help in achieving the long-term goals, and it will always help in maintaining a clear focus on the organizational priorities. The collaboration between the two will all it is a nature of the matrix organization, which ensures that the efforts across different departments are integrated, means all the efforts of different departments, they are synchronized, and which contributes to the overall success of the organization. This will always lead to more effective project execution. Now, after the advantages, we'll come to the disadvantages, right? Every organizational structure has certain advantages as well as the disadvantages. Now, we'll come to the disadvantages of matrix organization. Now, the first is complex reporting relationship, which means the dual reporting system is there. So, the dual reporting structure, it can create confusion and ambiguity among the employees, right? Employees might struggle to prioritize the task, like if they have received conflicting instructions from both the managers, right? So they will be confused, they will be in ambiguity what to execute first. This complexity, it will require a clear communication and well-defined roles to prevent the misunderstandings between the employees. Now, the second disadvantage is potential for conflict, which means need there's a need to balance the demand of multiple managers, which will lead to the conflicts, right? So, functional and the project managers, they have differing objectives, or we can say they have different priorities. Now, putting employees in a difficult position, right? So, the effective conflict resolution mechanism should be there, and open communication channels should be provided so as to mitigate the issues between the employees or among the employees. The third disadvantage is increased administrative overload, which means that managing a matrix organization, it requires more coordination and more administration among the employees, right? So there's a need for frequent meetings, there's a need for detailed communication, and also for the conflict resolution if in case it arises, which will always increase the administrative burden for the managers as well as for the employees. Now this overhead can, it can sometimes overweight the benefits of the matrix organization if there occurs some challenge. Now the fourth disadvantage is difficulty in performing evaluation. Obviously there would be difficulty because evaluating the employees performance, it can be challenging in a matrix organization. How? Because with employees working on multiple projects on different managers, it can be difficult, it can be difficult to obtain a comprehensive view of their contributions. Like the performance appraisal system needs to be adapted here so as to consider the inputs from both the functional as well as the project managers. Now the fifth point is risk of role ambiguity. Here the employees, they might experience role ambiguity, which means the where the responsibilities and expectations are not clearly defined. This will always lead to, it will lead to frustration, it will lead to decreased job satisfaction and the lower productivity, right? So clear job description should be there and regular feedback needed to be taken so as to mitigate the risk which might occur in the organization. Now the last disadvantage is time management challenges, which means the balancing the demand on different projects, right? It can be challenging for the employees, so they may need to switch the context frequently, which means that which will obviously disrupt their workflow and it will always reduce the efficiency. Effective time management should be there. Prioritizing these skills is very essential, because in so as to handle these demands very successfully for the successful implementation of the necessary rules and regulations which have been laid down by the organization so that they can achieve the organization goal effectively and efficiently. Now we'll come to the types of matrix organization. Basically, there are three types of matrix organization. First is weak matrix, second is balanced matrix, and the third is strong, or we can say project matrix. Now first we'll come to the weak matrix. Weak matrix, this is a type of organization. It resembles a traditional hierarchical structure where functional managers, they hold more authority and control, right? Project managers operate within the constraints and the guidelines which have been laid down by the organization, but the more focus is on the functional managers. Because of the functional managers, it could be functional dominance could be there, right? So in a weak matrix organization, functional managers might hold more authority, they might control over the resources, over the budgets, and even over the decision makings, right? Compared to the project managers. So project managers typically act as a coordinator or facilitates rather than having direct authority over the project's outcome or the resources. Most decisions, especially those related to the resource allocation and project prioritize, they are made by the functional managers under the weak matrix organization, right? So project managers, they might play a supportive role by providing inputs and coordinating the activities, but they do not have the final say in the critical decisions, right? So this structure, it often resembles with the traditional functional organization where projects are executed within the framework set up by the functional department or by the functional managers. Now the second type of matrix organization, which is balance matrix, which means that the authority and responsibility both are evenly distributed between the functional and the project managers. This will always promote the collaboration. It will promote shared decision making and a flexible approach towards the management of the projects, which will leverage the functional expertise and the resources. Now, in a balanced matrix organization, both functional managers and the project managers, they share the authority and responsibility equally. They will collaborate closely so as to make decisions, so as to allocate the resources, and even to manage the project executions. Now, responsibilities and accountability both are distributed between functional and the project managers, which will ensure that functional managers provide the expertise and resources from their departments, while the project managers, they will ensure that they oversee the day-to-day project activities, and we can say they will manage the project schedules, and even they will ensure the delivery and they will ensure that the objectives are met on time and the quality standards are maintained in the organization. Now, the last is strong project metrics, which means under this type of organization, it empowers project managers, right? Under weak matrix, functional manager was there on power. Under the balance matrix, there was a balance between the two. Under the strong, or we can say project matrix, here it will empower, or it will give more powers to the project managers, right? So this structure, this will prioritize the project successful and responsiveness of the project specific needs, while functional department here, they will provide the specialized support and guidance to the project managers. Now, in a strong matrix organization, project managers, they will have significant authority and control over the project resources, over the budgets, over the decision making processes, and they will have the direct authority, and they will overteam the members assigned to their projects, and they would be responsible for the successful completion of the project. Now here project managers, they play a very central role in decision making, because the functional managers, they will be helping them, or they will be providing them the support and the expertise as and when needed, but the major power, it will always hold to the project managers, right? Where functional department retains the control over the specialized resources and the technical guidance, but the project managers, they have the autonomy, right? They have the autonomy to make the critical project related decisions. Now, the next topic is role and responsibilities in a matrix organization. Now, there are different managers, right? There is project managers, there is functional managers, there is project team members, there are matrix managers, there are stakeholders, and the clients. Now, roles and responsibilities of these particular managers and these members. First, we'll go to the project manager. Now, in a matrix organization, what does a project manager do? The project manager, he will play a very crucial role in overseeing the project execution and to ensure the alignment of the organizational goals. The task will lead the project team, and the project manager will assume the responsibility for defining the project scope, for establishing the standards, the timelines, and setting the quality standards, right? So they will act as the primary point of contact for the stakeholders, for facilitating the communication and managing the expectations throughout the product life cycle. Resource allocation, it is very critical aspect of their role, is they will coordinate with functional managers so as to secure the necessary resources such as personnel, budget, we can say equipment, or essentials for whatever are essential for their project success. Moreover, these project managers, they are tasked with the identification and the mitigation risk that might occur in their projects, right? They will utilize they will proactively, analyze the risk and the strategies that would be implemented so as to avoid the risk and disruption in the organization. Second, we have functional manager. Now, what would be the working of the functional manager? A functional manager, he will ensure, or we can say that he will oversee the departmental resources, and he will provide the specialized expertise essential for the project implementation, right? So their role, it will center on managing and allocating of the resources, right? And such as skilled personnel, or we can say the technical assets to support the project activities, which will fulfill the operational objectives within the respective department. Functional managers, uh, they are supposed to support the project teams based on their departmental skills and the best practices, right? With their expertise, with their experiences, they will always support the project managers, but their role would be more empowered. They will play a role in performance evaluation. They will assess the contribution of the team members. They will assign the projects, and they will provide the feedback to enhance the individuals and the team performance. Now, next is project team member. What will he do? Now, they are the integral, or we can say they are the ones who execute the project task. They will collaborate with their colleagues and help in achieving the project milestones, right? So, task with implementing the project's plans and deliverables, team members, they will work closely with the project managers so as to ensure the project timeline, so as to adhere to the quality standards and even to the quality expectations. Now, communication is very essential because as team member, regularly updating the project members and the functional managers on their progress, on their challenges, and even to the resources need, facilitating the transparency and the alignment across the project team. Adaptability is very crucial here because as a team member, he will have to respond to the changes in the project scope or to the prioritize, sorry, and even to the priorities which will contribute to problem solving and better decision making process. Now, next is matrix managers. What will they do? Matrix manager, he oversees the multiple projects, right? He coordinates the activities across the functional departments so as to ensure the there's a sync and there's alignment with the organization strategies. Their role is to involve the integration project activities, which will help in resolving the conflicts, to optimally utilize the resource allocation, to maximize the efficiency and to minimize the reluctancy within the organization. Matrix manager, they play a crucial role in monitoring of the projects, evaluating the project outcomes, right, and to provide the feedbacks to the project managers and to the functional managers for the continuous improvement in the working of the organization. Now, last comes the stakeholders and clients. What is their role? Stakeholders and clients, they will define the project expectations, they will provide feedback on project progress, and they will approve the final deliverables so as to ensure that the alignment within the organizational goals and stakeholders are met. Now, engaging with project teams and with the managers, stakeholders, they will play a role of supporting the project initiatives, of advocating the project success, and addressing the concerns or even the challenges that might arise due to the project implementation. Their input and their involvement are very essential for shaping the project outcomes, for validating the projects, or for maintaining a stakeholder satisfaction throughout the product life cycle. Now, by collaborating the internal teams and the external stakeholders, organizations can always leverage these stakeholders. For the innovations, for enhancing the project effectiveness, even for the achievement of the sustainable growth in the competitive market. So now we'll come to the next type of organization, which is virtual organization. So what are they? These virtual organization, they are also known as network organization or virtual enterprises. Okay? These are the organization that primarily operates through electronic communication and decentralizes its network. They leverage technology to coordinate the activities, to manage resources, and achieve business goals without relying on traditional physical office space. Virtual organizations are basically the ones that uses the current modes, be it in technology, be it in communication, means they are the organization that works as per the environment. They are very modern in their approach. So we'll study the characteristics of the virtual organization. So first characteristic is decentralized structure, which means that virtual organization, they operate with teams that are spread across different locations. We can say that they are often global, right? Decentralized structure, it will allow the organization to tap into a diverse talent pool and to operate in various markets simultaneously. Employees here, they will be working from the remote location to leverage the digital tools for communication and even for the collaboration. This flexibility, this will lead to the higher job satisfaction, and it will also assist to a broader range of skills in the organization. Now, the second characteristic is technological integration and innovation, which means that virtual organizations, they embrace new technologies and the innovations so as to enhance the communication, so as to enhance the collaboration and the operational efficiency. They invest in a cutting edge tools and platforms that support the remote work, virtual meetings, and even the digital project management. Encouraging a culture of innovations, it fosters the continuous improvement and adaptations as per the emerging trends in the outside world, right? So the virtual organizations, they leverage the technology not only for the operational efficiency, but even also for generating the new ideas, for generating the new products, or even the services. Now the next characteristic is global collaboration, which means that uh, they assemble the teams with members from different geographical locations, from different cultures, from different backgrounds. This diversity, this will enrich our perspective and will enhance the creativity, which will lead to the innovative solutions and approaches in the organization. Management of these cross-cultural teams, it will require understanding as well as the sensibility, so for the cultural differences in communication styles, in work ethics, and even in the decision making process. So these virtual organizations, they foster cross-cultural competence, so that they can leverage the diversity as a competitive advantage. Now, the fourth characteristic is virtual leadership and management, which means that leaders in virtual organizations, they must possess the strong digital leadership skills, or strong effective communication skills, or remote team management, as well as the virtual collaboration. They should use the technology to inspire, to motivate, and even to guide the team towards the attainment of the organizational goals. Now, the next is emphasize on results or the outcomes, which means that virtual organization, they focuses on results and outcomes rather than the physical presence of hours or the work. Employees here are evaluated on the basis of their contribution towards the project, towards the achievements of the goals, and even the impact on the organizational success. Now, using the performance matrices, or we can say the key performance indicators, it will help to measure the individual and team performance objectively. A clear expectation should be there, and regular performance review should be there, so as to ensure alignment with the organizational objective. Now, the next characteristic is adaptive organizational structure, which means that here the virtual organization, they operate as the network of interconnected teams, right? And here the individuals are there in a hierarchical structure. This network approach, it facilitates the agility, or we can say that it allows the organizations to respond quickly to the market changes and the opportunities. Projects here are driven towards the organizational structure, with teams forming and team forming on the basis of the project needs, right? So here the flexibility enables the resource allocation according to the project prioritize, and even to ensure the optimal utilization of the talent as well as the resources. Now, the next is this is flexibility and work arrangement, which means that it offers flexible work arrangements where employees can work from home, from co-working spaces, or even from the remote locations. This flexibility, this will accommodate the diverse work styles and the personal preferences of everyone, and it will help to contribute to the higher job satisfaction and productivity. Means employees will often have the flexibility to set their own work hours, or we can say the working hours, within the agreed upon guidelines, and this autonomy, this will allow the individuals to work during their most productive times, fostering a better work life balance. Now, the last is risk management and resilience, which means that there's a cyber security. It prioritizes the cyber security to to protect the sensitive data and to mitigate the risk which might occur in the remote work, right? So there's a security protocol, there's encryption, or means a complete safety is there. There's data protection measures which will safeguard the cyber threat and will also the unauthorized access of the data. Developing the comprehensive business continuity plans, this will ensure the face of disruption such as natural disasters or the global crisis. Virtual organization, they always implement these strategies to maintain the operations and to support the remote work continuity. We'll come to the advantages of virtual organization. First is cost saving, which means that virtual organization, they achieve substantial cost by saving, by eliminating or reducing the expenses related to the physical infrastructure or the overheads, because here the employees can work from their own place also, right? So the financial flexibility, this will allow them to invest more in the resources, right? To invest resources strategically in the growth of initiatives, in the growth of technology upgradations, or even to the talent development and drive, which will drive towards the long-term organizational success. Now, the next advantage is access to global talent, which means that by executing the geographical boundaries, virtual organizations, they can assess our diverse talent pool, and they can enhance their capabilities and competitiveness. They can recruit individuals with specified skills and expertise. They can assemble the agile teams for specific projects, and they can operate seamlessly across different time zones, which will maximize the operational efficiency and the customer responsiveness. Now, the next advantage is increased flexibility, which means that virtual work arrangements means it will always empower employees to manage their schedules and their work environments effectively, right? So this will help to promote a work life balance as well as the better productivity. Organizations will always benefit from adaptive workforce management practices because of the ability to respond swiftly to the market demands or the unfold disruptions which might occur, which will ensure a sustained growth of the organization. So the next advantage is operational efficiency, which means that digital communication tools and the collaborative platforms that are used in virtual organization, they streamline the workflow and they enhances the team collaborations, right? So this efficiency, it accelerates the decision making process. It helps in optimum utilization of the resources. It will help to foster the innovation and the creativity among the different teams, which will help to position the organization as a leader in its own industry. Now, the last advantage is environmental sustainability, which means that remote work policies, they contribute towards the environmental sustainability by reducing the needs for daily commuting and for the business travel, right? So this lowers the carbon emissions, uh, which is associated with the transportation. It will conserve the natural resources. It will support the corporate sustainable growth, which helps in appealing to eco-conscious consumers and the investors. This virtual organization, it will demonstrate the commitment it will demonstrate the commitment by adopting the environmental friendly practices, right? By minimizing the physical office space, by promoting remote work, or they always align with the global sustainability standards, means it will enhance the brand reputation. It will attract more socially responsible talents and even the business partners. Now, the next topic is challenges of virtual organization. First challenge is communication barriers. obviously there could be communication barriers because without face-to-face interaction, virtual teams they may face challenges in the interpretation or even in the non-verbal cues or even the tone of voices, which will lead to the misunderstanding or even sometimes to the conflicts also, right? So clear and concise communication practices, which includes the active listening and which uses the appropriate communication tools. These are very essential to mitigate these barriers. There's time zone difference also, right? To, coordinating across different time zones, it is never easy because it can pose the scheduling challenges for virtual teams, right? So here, team members they may need to adjust their working hours or to participate in meetings outside the regular business hours. So, which will require the effective time management and flexibility to maintain the productivity and collaborations because of the different time zones. Next is building and maintaining trust. So, establishing a trust among team members who have limited or we can say no face to face interaction, this can be challenging many times, right? Now building a rapport through virtual team buildings or even through regular communications and transparency in decision making processes, it will always foster trust and cohesion with virtual teams. Here, here ensuring the accountability in a virtual environment. This requires clear expectations. This requires clear performance matrices and even the regular feedback mechanism. Here, leaders they might sometimes establish a trust-based relationship, or they can provide the adequate support and guidance to remote employees so as to maintain the accountability and the productivity and so that they can overcome this challenge. Now the next is managing work life balance, which means that uh, remote work it can blur the boundaries between the work and the personal life, which will lead to the potential burnout or even the reduced well-being among the employees, right? So encouraging work-life balance through the flexible work arrangements by setting the clear working hours or by promoting the self-care practices, this will always help in mitigating these challenges. Now the next challenge is technology and infrastructure issues. Yeah, it could occur because dependency on technology for communication, for collaborations, this might this might introduce risk. For example, of connecting issues, it might suffer software glitches or it might face the compatibility issues with different devices. Now, implementing a robust IT support, regular maintenance checks, and contingency plans for the technical disruptions, this is very essential to overcome this barrier. Now, next challenge is leadership and team management, which means that effective leadership in virtual organization is very essential because specialized skills in managing the remote teams, in fostering the motivation, and we can say for promoting the collaborations across distances, it is very important, right? So leaders must be able to adapt communication styles. They must set the clear goals and they should provide the clear direction so as to support to the remote employees so that they can ensure the alignment with the organizational objectives. Cultural and diversity challenges, which means that managing a cultural difference and communication style among different team members, it might require cultural sensitivity and awareness between the employees. Means promoting inclusive practices, respecting their cultural norms, and it will always foster a collaborative environment that helps to value the diverse perspectives and which are very essential for the effective teamwork and cohesion. Now, the next topic is best practices for managing virtual organizations. So, what are these practices? The first practice is effective communication strategies, which means that regular meetings should be conducted, or we can say clear communication channels should be there. Means holding regular virtual meetings, it will help to maintain a communication flow and it will also helps to ensure that all the team members are informed and they are aligned with the organizational goals. Means video conferencing, this can help to stimulate the face to face interaction And also clear communication channels should be established, means establishing clear communication channels and the protocols, it will help to reduce the confusions. It will ensure that everyone knows where to go for the information and for the support. Now the next practice is building a strong company culture, which means that uh, organizing virtual team building activities such as online games, virtual coffee breaks, or we can say collaborative projects. It will always help to build a relationship between the employees, and it will also help to foster a sense of community among the employees of the organization. Also, we can say that regularly recognizing and rewarding employees for their contribution, it will also helps to boost their morale. It will also keeps them motivated. Virtual recognition program and peer-to-peer acknowledgements can be very effective for uplifting the morale of the employees. Now, the last practice is ensuring security and compliance, which means that implementing strong cybersecurity measures such as encryptions, such as security access control and regular security audits. It is very important because it will always help to protect the sensitive information and it will help in preventing the data breaches, right? So staying up to date with the data protection regulations and implementing those compliances, implementing the compliance management system, it will ensure that the organization meets its legal requirements and it also avoids the penalties.